And welcome to another episode of Keep It Locked with me, Simon Hill, as always. Before we get into this episode, don't forget, follow Keep It Locked across social media. We're on Twitter at Keep It Locked Pod. You can also follow me with a load of randomness, including, wrestling stuff, gaming stuff. I'll be Simon H Official across Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And we've also launched our brand new official Keep It Locked merch. Head over to My Wrestle Merch. Pins and Knuckles have rebranded their wrestling site, and I'm in good company there. Toni Storm, Flash Morgan Webster, amongst Chris Ridgway, many others. So I'm very privileged to be on there. So go and check out the brand new merch. It's awesome. Right, this episode is with an incredible talent. She has had an incredible career, and only in the last 4 to 5 years, we're joined by Killer Kelly. We talk about everything from her WWE career, the ups and downs of NXT UK, and how it was for her getting into wrestling in the first place. We talk about WXW and how she became the first ever women's champion over there in Germany. What an incredible story that is. She's very open and honest and transparent about her mental health, and she gives good advice and a very inspirational, statement that she makes on the podcast, which is really, really good, and you definitely want to check that out as well. There's so much more in here, including her love for Denny's, gaming, her new Twitch channel, and so much more. It's all here on Keep It Locked with Killer Kelly. All the way from Germany, thank you so much for taking your time to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
You were one of the first guests that I really wanted to get on from the very inception of this podcast. So it's great to finally have you on. And we're going to talk about lots of fun stuff. Your wrestling career obviously being one of them. But, you're also heading a gaming channel at the moment, which is so entertaining. So I want to get into that a little later as well. First of all, talk to me, how's lockdown been? We're starting to get back to some form of normality now. Are you able to start getting into the gym again? I know you wasn't too motivated with the home workouts. So how's it been?
Well, the whole quarantine when it started, it was just depressing. Super, super depressing. But thank God, things like Germany is a country, and the people in Germany, they really like to obey to rules. So that meant that the country opened up very, very soon, and everyone is respecting everything. So far, everything is great right now. Like, the gyms are open. Of course, you need to wear masks and keep practicing social distancing, but everything is open. And I go to the gym. I have some sort of a normal life. The only thing that's missing is wrestling on the weekends and having my boyfriend with me. But other than that, it's finally going back to normal.
I'm so happy. So here in the UK, the gyms have just opened, and I'm one of those guys who goes 5 or 6 days a week. So I have sacked off all of that for the last 4.5 months, obviously. Haven't been able to do any home workouts because I don't have the motivation. But I'm looking forward to 2 sessions a day. My family and friends aren't going to see me, but I'm super excited. So how's the gym being back? Was it tough at first?
Oh, it was amazing. It wasn't tough at all because, as I said, in the beginning, quarantine, very depressing. I couldn't find the motivation to do anything at all. I would basically just order pizza and Burger King, eat all day, watch all the shows. I started watching Supernatural again, The Walking Dead.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was my life basically, and I didn't want to do anything. But then one day I was like, okay, stop with the bullshit, just get out of bed and start with some home workouts. And I started doing decks of cards, and that was really, really helpful into my transition back into the gym, because my cardio was so much better. So much better. I was in a better shape than before, just because of the deck of cards workouts. It's crazy. Yeah,
that's
it's crazy.
awesome. So we're expecting a much bigger, badder Killer Kelly when all the wrestling starts again.
Yeah, yes.
Let's get into that. So the wrestling side, you're actually, so you made your professional debut in 2016. So not actually that long ago, but you really went for it and you became a household name overnight. How was getting into professional wrestling for you at the age of 24 to where you are now?
So so I've been training since I was 14, but it was in Portugal and it was once per week. I wouldn't go at all sometimes because I was a teen, and to me wrestling was never like approachable. So I would just go there, hang out with my friends, and I've never did anything with it. So um so that's why the my professional journey began in 2016. And it was still in Portugal because I told my coach at the time, like, okay, I'm taking this seriously, so we need to make more shows in Portugal, to do more shows in Portugal so that I can actually wrestle, and then to start to get comfortable and blah blah blah. And then I moved to Germany, and then it was like super quick, super duper
Wow.
quick. Yeah, I moved to Germany. 3 months, no, 1 month later, I was debuting for WXW. Then 2 months later, 2 to 3 months later, I was the first women's champion. Then February, March, I went to the UK. I got I started to get like some recognition. I was booked for Progress, for Rev Pro. I did the show with WXW there. Eve, like everything, like it just started to explode. And then WWE, and I haven't had like a second. Well, back then, I didn't have like a second to like assimilate everything and be like, oh my God, this is like super quick. This is unbelievable. Oh my God.
But you've grown into it, hadn't you? So you say that it was so quick and you didn't have time to really think about what was going on at the time.
Yeah.
But you became the baddest woman on the planet, apart from Ronda Rousey, in wrestling. You
Thank
really
you.
took to it so well. So what was the process for you in your mind and your training to think, look, it's super quick, but I have to adapt?
Um, well, I feel like I didn't even think about that. I just had to go with the flow. I never, by the time that I moved to Germany, to the time I got signed, it was like I took everything step by step. I was literally learning on the job. I remember I had my first match with Toni. I was so nervous. So nervous. I was like, "Oh my God, it's Toni Storm. She's like amazing. She's top 10 wrestlers in the world. Oh my God, I'm gonna die." Then her flight was late, so she arrived like, I don't know, half an hour before the match, and I
Wow.
was so nervous. I was like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!" But like she arrived, we started talking because we were in a rush, and everything went perfectly. Like I didn't even had like a second to actually think. Well, before her arriving, I was like overthinking. Once she arrived, everything like went smoothly, and I was confident and in my abilities and everything. So basically, my journey until WWE was that, me adapting and me trying to, well, getting caught off guard, which made me into the wrestler that I am now. It wasn't it Of course I trained, and of course I wanted to get better, but every single opportunity that I had was literally last minute. You need to adapt and you need to do something about it. So that helped.
I can only imagine. And, we talk about Toni Storm. You've wrestled Toni a bunch of times. Some of the most memorable matches in both of your careers. One of them in particular was impactful in WXW, and everyone still talks about that match. Talk to me what it was like, not just wrestling her, obviously you described that, but learning from her as you're going along through this match.
She's such an easy person. So easy, so chill. Wrestling her is literally an honor, because she made me grow as a wrestler. And she doesn't even know it. She really doesn't know it. I don't think that I actually had a conversation with her talking about this, but she literally made me the wrestler that I am today. Um, she just helps, like having a match with her just enhances your talent and your abilities, and it's just it's amazing. I can't wait to have a match with her again, and it's just it is an honor, and I'm super super happy that I met Toni, and that, well, she helped me, and it's amazing. I'm forever grateful for
I
Toni.
think, not just somebody who works in the business, but also as a fan. I think we need to see you and Tony, sooner rather than later. I think, again, you guys just put on such a good show together. You work so well, and we'll carry on with the WXW. Championship you mentioned there. You became the first ever WXW Women's Champion. Talk to me about the emotion that you felt after winning that match and what it was like for your career.
Ah, so I like to think that winning that championship put me on the map. Um, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't deserve it at all. I was just starting out, and they just took like a leap of faith with me, and it paid off. Um, but it literally made my career, and I'm forever grateful for WXW. And knowing that I was gonna win that match, I just felt so honored, and my emotions were in a high, but then I was just like, okay, you need to be professional and just like relax and think about the match, think about the whole thing. And then when you have the title, you can be emotional. You can do whatever. They even said like once you win it, you can do whatever you want. It's you winning. And I'm like, okay, because it was so stressful. I was like, okay, should I still be like the badass Killer Kelly? Should I still be in character? And they were like, do what you want. And I just started crying. I cried in the ring. It was my first and last time that I cried in the ring.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so many emotions. It was not the fact of not only because I won the match. I think that's not even like one of the reasons. It's because WXW took such faith in me and giving me the title and the opportunity of being their first champion, that it was just so so emotional, so emotional. It was one of the greatest moments of my career.
And one thing that I think, we can all agree on is that you still have so much more to give. I think there's many more championships coming your way. I'd
Thank you.
like to see anyway. And congratulations is in order because you recently became WXW Coach that you announced on your social media. So a huge congratulations. Tell
Thank
us
you.
where all of that came around.
So we were already in talks about that. Like I've given training every now and then. So the WCW Academy is divided by classes, like beginners classes, advanced classes, and we even have children classes.
Wow.
And and every now and then I would give like some beginners classes. I would do the warm-ups for the advanced classes, and I um felt very comfortable in that role. And also all of the things that I learned at the WWE PC UK PC were very very valuable to the WXW Academy. So I thought, well, I'm learning all of that, so let me just share it with my peers. So I started doing that, feeling very comfortable. People would like my trainings very very much, and then Robert Dreiska, he took over the WXW Academy. And since he took over, he was thinking of starting women's classes once again, because they had for a period of time, I think a year or something like that, but it didn't work out. So he wanted to start that over, just for two women to have like, I don't want to say a safe space because the whole academy is a safe space,
Yeah.
but to be more comfortable and just to have just a class for women. And he thought about me, obviously. And yeah, then he asked me. I was like, hell yeah, of course I want to.
Wow. So, going through that, I also saw a few tweets from some of your students that you've started coaching that you are living up to the name Killer Kelly. Are
Yep.
you putting them through their paces? Are you putting through some intense cardio workouts?
Yep. I want them to be the best. I want to do what Walter Timothy Thatcher did to me. My own boyfriend Alexander James, like they really, really pushed for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna take it easy. They're gonna do this, and they are able to do it, and I have 100% confidence that they can do it and they will succeed. So that's why I do it.
So, without giving away your full coaching plan, if I was to turn up to the WXW Academy tomorrow, what would be the first thing you would make me do?
Oh, a stretch.
A stretch.
First things first, stretch.
Stretch.
Stretch, really, really deep stretch. Because I've seen in a lot of like academies and wrestling academies all over the world that people just get in and okay, let's do the wrestling. No,
Yeah.
please stretch. And I do all of my like old gymnastic stretches. So they're really, really like, you are gonna be so stretched. I do that. Then it's neck warm ups because they're very, very important. Neck bridges, a bunch of rolls, and then a lot of drills.
Wow. Wow. It sounds intense. It sounds painful, but all for all for a good reason and all for a good
Yes.
output. Before we get on to your WWE time, where did the name Killer Kelly come from?
So, as I told you, I by 2016 I started to take wrestling more seriously, and I asked Wrestling Portugal for us to have more shows. And I finally felt confident, not in the character, but like in my ring style and everything. I didn't want to fit in into with all of the other girls, the other girls were doing, being all feminine and stuff. I was like, no, I want to be like a female Loki and a female Shibata, and and it was what I felt comfortable doing, and I was just Kelly back then. Um, so starting at the shows, there were no girls, so I only fought guys. And I think after the first match, they started chanting "Killer Kelly" because I just killed the guy, and they were like "Killer Kelly." I was like, "Oh, that is cool." So once I moved to Germany, I was like, this is going to be a tribute to the Portuguese crowd and my Portuguese fans and Portugal in general. And I'm going to start naming myself Killer Kelly. And that was it.
Wow. Wow. And you definitely live up to the name in the ring, and you showcased that at WWE when you made your debut in 2018 at the United Kingdom Championship Tournament. You were in a three-way. Talk to me about that experience. First of all, getting that call to come to WWE and then performing at the Staple Show.
I didn't want to believe it. I received an email. I was just like, no, this is not true. This is not true. This is impossible. And I remember the email finished with, would you like to participate? I'm like, of course. Of course I would like to participate. And it just all came together. They flew me over to one of the O2 shows, me and a bunch of other people. Um, we watched the shows, we were backstage, and it was so, so, so much fun. And that match, that show, the United Kingdom Championship Tournament, Jesus, I couldn't believe it. And I was so nervous. It was the most nerve-wracking moment of my life because we didn't know who was gonna get a match. We were at the venue, we didn't know anything. And then it was released online from whatever source that we were gonna have a four-way. And my name was there, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, this is not official, but I want to get super excited, but this is not official. We need to wait." And then it was like 3 hours or 4 hours before the show, they came to us and they're like, okay, so this is the match. It is Toni Storm versus Ginny versus Isla Dawn versus Killer Kelly. And I'm like, oh my God, this is I wanted to die. I wanted to die. I was so excited, but I wanted to die. And then, unfortunately, it turned into a three-way because Ginny got concussed in the first 4 minutes of the match, or 3 minutes of the match. So we basically had to reshoot the match. So she got concussed. We went backstage. Triple H and Shawn Michaels gave us a talk saying, okay, girls, can you do a three-way? We're going to just go to the ring, do a promo, and you guys go. And we're like, yes, 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 we can do it. We can do it. My God, my heart. I felt like I was dead. It was an experience that it can't even begin to tell you. Like it was nerve-wracking, so nerve-wracking. And then we did the match like 5 minutes later. It was so nerve-wracking.
Wow.
But the whole experience was amazing, amazing. It was the best time of my life. And another reason why it's because my mom participated at Miss Universe, that same venue, the Royal Albert Hall, to represent Portugal. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And the show was on her birthday. So it was a lot, like
Wow.
a lot of stuff going on that day. So yeah, it was amazing.
And that really did kick off your WWE career. You had a great stint there, wrestled some of the best. Obviously, we mentioned Ginny Isla Dawn, Toni Storm. Obviously, there were Dakota Kai as well, amongst many other names, Nina Samuels. What was it like, turning up, week in, week out, being able to wrestle these guys at, arguably the biggest promotion in the world?
Just unreal. I feel like the first few months I couldn't believe I was in the WWE. It seemed very, very unreal. Like it took a while until some of the people that were actually there to get contracts. It was September, if I'm not mistaken. So it was after the Mae Young. So before that, and even like a few months after, I still couldn't believe that I was a WWE superstar. It's unbelievable. It just you can't put it into words. The feeling like, oh, so basically John Cena is my colleague. Like what? Triple H is my boss. It's so weird. It is so weird. So I feel like up until the end, I still couldn't believe that I was a WWE superstar. It's just unreal.
And you really earned your stripes there. You had some fantastic matches that you can check out on the WWE Network still. And one thing that I really enjoyed watching was the way that you are in the ring. You are this full-time badass who is not scared to just kick the shit out of you. Was that something that you had to zone into that character? And to Killer Kelly themselves. Was it a lot of work, a lot of trial and error?
No, no, no. Just like I told you, like back in Portugal, it was like exactly what I felt comfortable doing. I didn't feel comfortable being all smiles and all happy in the ring. I didn't. I tried. That was painful, so painful. And that is literally me. Like when I'm in training, when I'm working out, when I'm training, whatever, like even in my swimming team, I was the super extra focused, mean face kind of girl, always in my life. So that is me comfortable.
Something quite somber but yet disturbing about that is
Yeah.
uh,
I'm weird.
yeah, no, I think it's quite good that you're able to just zone into that with so much ease. Obviously, uh, it speaks so much about you as a talent. I think it's incredible. So we'll move on from WWE. So you obviously moved on from there. You got back on the indie circuit. You know, came here to the UK, several matches. You were also originally going to be appearing at WrestleMania weekend for a show where you're going to be going up against Alison Kay, I believe it was. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. You didn't get your Denny's
So
breakfast,
sad.
and you didn't get your WrestleMania
No.
match. Hopefully, we'll see you back there when everything returns. But, you know, talk to me about what that was going to be for you.
That was, I'm going to be totally honest. That was going to be my launch into the independent circuit
Yeah,
once again. Because I feel like, once again, full transparency. I was, I, I was climbing a ladder before WWE. So I was climbing it very, very slowly. I didn't reach my top at all. I was like, what, halfway through, or less than halfway, trying. Then I got the contract. So I just, I feel like I didn't reach my, well, still like I'm years and years and years away from my full potential. But I feel like once I got the contract, I stopped climbing the ladder. So it was just like this. And because being on the independent circuit, you have matches every single week. You are grinding. You want to reach the top. You want to be the best. And I was already in a roster full of amazing women. And of course, I always gave my best, always. But there's some stuff that um, you can't change, and uh, how can I say it? Stuff, yeah, stuff that it's out of your hands, and also me being not wrestling every single weekend and having that little kick in the butt for me to be the best made me stagnate. Stagnate, is that the word?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
No, I can,
yeah. And once I left, I was like, okay, this is exactly what I needed to become the Killer Kelly that I've always wanted. One of the best. So I had plans. I had like a 5 to 6 months, a 6 month plan already in motion. And the WrestleMania, like, of course, I did like some independent shows. I debuted for Riptide. I loved it. Amazing show. I continued to go to Eve. I participated at Wrestle Queendom 3. Um, I continued with WXW, of course. But then WrestleMania was gonna be my welcome card. My welcome card, my greeting card to the American Indies, and be like, "Hey, bitch, this is Killer Kelly. I'm gonna be your number one indie darling." But then, well, no WrestleMania, no opportunity to show off my talent, what I'm capable of, because I feel like I love my time in WWE, but I couldn't show my full potential because of course there were other plans for other people, so I never had that opportunity. And yeah, WrestleMania was gonna be it, like, because who am I kidding? Like Bloodsport versus Allison Kay, that was gonna be a banger.
yeah,
Yeah. uh
absolutely.
Black Label Pro, me and Kylie Ray, that was gonna
Wow.
be a banger. That was gonna be amazing. Then WXW was gonna have a show. I didn't know who my opponent is, but probably was gonna be something very, very cool. Someone very, very cool, very, very talented. And then I was gonna make some surprise appearances as well. But then everything went down the drain and no Denny's. So
And
yeah.
no Denny's, and no
Yeah.
Denny's. But you know that sounds absolutely incredible. And do you know what I think? Even though there hasn't been that opportunity for you this year, next year, you know, I think it's just going to be the biggest thing for Killer Kelly. I really do. It
Thank
sounds
you.
so exciting, and you know, you see other promotions at the moment. I mean, we look at Eddie Kingston very recently appearing on AEW.
So happy.
Oh my God. Like, I love that guy. I've had the pleasure of interviewing him backstage and stuff before, and we've drank and ate together and stuff, and he's incredible. But to see him in that moment, that's Eddie Kingston moment right there.
Dude, I
So,
got chills.
oh man, I must have watched that promo like 15 times.
Yeah.
But you know, is there room for Killer Kelly to do that sort of thing in the future as well?
I hope so. Like, as of right now, I'm stuck here in Germany, so I can't leave. Um, but I hope so. Like, I want to pop everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, my goal was I'm not gonna get a contract again, at least for 6 months or something like that. I don't want to be tied down. I want to live the full independent, independent wrestler life. I want to live it. It was actually like, who told me that? Walter told me that I was gonna be just fine in the independence, and I should live it and make my own rules and just be happy in the independence for a while, and then start thinking about contracts and start thinking about which promotions I would like to stay. If I wanted to go back to WWE, like there's like um a million things that I could do. Like, my plan was gonna start with the American independence, back to Japan, and just work all around the world. And now with these like challenges for AEW, just independent stars just popping in and just having a good matches, like great showcase matches. It's not like a get over match. It's actual showcases for you to show what you're worth. So that would be perfect for me. Impact, just like being super good as well. Like, everyone is blowing up, like everywhere.
Absolutely agree.
So I don't know what the future holds for me, but I want to try it all.
I can't wait to see where you end up. And I know you spoke recently to Alicia too. She's incredible. You know, we get on really well. But you said that if anyone could do your entrance music, it'd be a System of a Down. You know,
so cool.
someone like that. So let's talk about the music taste of Killer Kelly. Does it start with the likes of System of a Down, maybe Papa Roach, Linkin Park, heavier, lighter?
I have a very eclectic musical taste. Some days I always want to hear System of a Down and Led Zeppelin. Those are my two bands. That's it. I love them. But like, I can even check my Spotify, like what I've been listening to lately. I'm gonna tell you my list. So there's the Run the Jewels, Green Day. I found Green Day again. Nice. I was like, oh my God, this is my teenage years. Then of course we have a lot of 70s and 80s. I just love it, love it, love it. 50 Cent, Offspring.
Oh, yes.
Guns N' Roses, A Journey, Foreigner. Like, I love it. And then
all the feel-good stuff.
Yeah, NWA, Beastie Boys, like, Logic, like,
man.
That.
So
I'd go like.
There's some random stuff in there. There's some good pop punk, some old school rap and R&B. I love the eclectic mix. Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, I'm very rock orientated. I've always grown up around rock. I have Maiden tattoos and stuff. But yeah, I love to dive into something a bit different now and again, whether that's like, you know, the early 2000s dance music or the old school Eminem, 50 Cent stuff. But I think it's good, especially when you're working out. You need something a bit different that will push an extra rep out of you and things like that. So it's good that you have an eclectic mix. But System of a Down is the entrance music.
Yes, I would love to. Love.
And you haven't seen them live just yet, have you?
No, I was supposed to. They were coming here in Germany here to Germany and Portugal during the summer. I guess that.
Not happened. No.
Yeah.
They are incredible live, very very good. And in France there's a very big festival happening next year, and they're headlining. So I'm traveling over and I'm going because that festival looks
Wow.
insane.
That's so cool.
Moving on, you've in your spare time during quarantine, obviously a lot of us have had spare time during all this, but you found a new passion in launching your very own Twitch channel,
Yes.
where you stream various games. Obviously, at the moment, you're playing a lot of Diablo, Last of Us 1, amongst others. Talk to me about gaming for you, and was it a passion before the Twitch channel?
So I was planning to have a Twitch channel for like, I don't know, four four to like 3 to 4 months before the whole lockdown. I was planning to, but I never like found the proper time or if I should actually do it, but I was planning. Uh, I'm not like an avid gamer. I love Diablo. Diablo is my childhood. I played Diablo with my mom and my brother. I would play, of course, like a PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1, like SmackDown versus Raw. I remember playing on my PC the Raw game, like 97, 98.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I love those games because they're my childhood. And then I started playing more because my boyfriend Alexander James is a nerd, and he loves video games. He loves it. He actually has a Twitch channel, so I streamed with him like a couple of times. We had like three, yeah, three streams that lasted like 6 to 8 hours that we finished Outlast 1, Outlast 2. Um, oh, we actually did Man of Medan too as well,
Love that game.
and Until Dawn. So 4 streams, games from start to finish. Like always
Wow.
playing, always streaming. I love it. I love horror games. I love it. Love horror. Horror movies, horror games, serial killers. I love everything. So you can see like the connection between Killer Kelly
Oh
and my
yeah.
taste. Yeah. I love it all. Um but yeah, so I started my channel, and it's something that I really really like doing. And being in the quarantine, doing my quarantine alone, it helped me like mentally because I had like people with me in some
Yeah,
sort. I would
yeah.
play, I would talk to the chat. There were my community is very very cool. I love my little Twitch community. I call them the killer community,
That's
KK.
awesome. Love it.
um but yeah, like I mainly play horror games, and I read horror stories as well, and I'm gonna start actually watching some serial killer documentaries with them. I haven't told them yet, but that's gonna start, which I love. I want to share my passion. Okay, this sounds awful. My passion with my community is for them to understand what goes behind the serial killer mind, which is very, like, it's very not entertaining, but um ed- educate educational.
Educational? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that you can, like, when you see that person, you go the other way.
Yeah.
So you know how to detect a serial killer.
Yeah, we share something in common. So yeah, I can share your weirdness because the first documentaries I tend to go for are the serial killers, the murder documentaries, those kind of things. So yeah, I share your passion.
Yeah, yeah, my passion, my love.
Yeah, your love for serial killer documentaries. Um, you mentioned mental health there, and obviously you have been very open about your struggles, especially through quarantine. You know, if you could give anyone just a little pointer, maybe advice on what they've been through and what you've gone through, on how they can, begin to start that journey back to maybe some form of normality and help them, getting out of that mental
Yeah.
state.
Well, to be honest, like I haven't reached that normality once again. Like I have my ups and downs.
Yeah.
A lot of downs. the majority are downs, and then I have some up days. I find that going to the gym and just letting all my frustrations out while I lift, it really helps. But still, still trying to figure out the balance and how to be back um, at being no, normal, let's say normal,
Yeah.
and trying to have a routine once again and being motivated and whatever. I would love to give an advice, but I'm still struggling. I really am. Like, as you can see, like I'm a very bubbly person. I'm always laughing. I'm always smiling. But there are days that are really, really dark that I can't even get out of bed. They're just terrible. And I have a good support system, but the truth is, I am alone right now, and it's very difficult. It is very, very difficult. That's why, like, uh, well, I'm gonna share here. I was gonna share like in a upcoming weeks, but I can share now. That's why I'm gonna go back to Portugal for a little while. I had like some family issues and some stuff that uh really messed me up as well, like mental health my mental health. So I'm gonna go back to Portugal in the first weeks of August. Just try to be with my family. Finally have like someone to talk to daily in person and that I love, and trying to be my better self. And I feel like it's important to have a good support system and have family and yeah, and hopefully I'll see my boyfriend once again. The borders open or we find a solution because I really need that for my mental health. But the only advice that I can give people is to, if you're struggling, just tell it to someone, talk to someone. Even even if you use like code words and not tell the full extent of your problems, just do it. That's how I do it. I never, well, just to my boyfriend, but I never go, hey, I really need help. I'm really struggling. I'm really sad. There's days that I don't want to get out of the house or the bed or whatever. Um, but I use like some sort of code words, like to my family. I don't like worrying them, but I tell them like, I don't know. So what did you do today? Did you go to the gym? No. So, but
Yeah.
me, by saying no, they already know what's happening because I
Yeah.
like to go to the gym. And, but yeah, like some days up, some days down. I really try my best to have all up days. And I really do my best to get up in the morning, go to the gym. And once I do that, my day is a whole lot better. If I wake up early and go to the gym, it changes everything because I'm a creature of routine and I need some sort of stability. And if I don't wake up and don't go to the gym, my day is ruined. Like literally, it is ruined because I'm like, okay, it's 1 o'clock. I can't do anything today, and then I go into a shell. It's awful. It is awful, and I feel like there's a lot of people that suffer the same thing. So, guess what, people? Killer Kelly also suffers from this. So you're not alone.
So inspiring. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer that question. It's a very difficult subject to speak about.
Yeah.
I've been very open about it myself, but I really appreciate that. I think it's such an inspiring thing for you to be able to do, to connect with people who are also
Yeah.
going through a similar thing.
I know.
Let's end on a big positive though. Let's go through some quick fire questions. So, pizza or burger?
Oh, pizza.
Pineapple or mushroom on pizza?
Mushroom.
Uh,
And mushroom and pineapple. Like I like the combination.
Denny's or IHOP?
Denny's. Is that even a question?
uh, System of a Down or 50 Cent?
System of a Down.
uh, Killer Kelly, thank you so much for this interview. This has been so much fun, and I felt like
I really
you're
appreciate it.
so easy to speak to, and
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And on the career front, you're still so young into the career, but also becoming so established and such a talent in the ring. And I can't wait to see
Thank you.
next WrestleMania when you just blow up. I really can't wait.
Thank you. I really hope so.
So yeah, thank you once again for taking the time to be here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was really, really fun.